Hey everybody, welcome back to Smooth Lux. It's no news that our bad girl and recently turned mother Rihanna comes to mind when we think about wealthy female celebrities, right? The world's richest women, all of whom are billionaires, prefer to keep a low profile, but the number of women billionaires is on the rise. Until I began my studies, I had no idea who most of them were. Stay tuned to find out, but make sure that you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share and also turn on your post notifications. Let's see who we have at number 10. Abigail Johnson. We often make fun of daddy issues, but Abigail Johnson undoubtedly has the inverse, whatever that is. She took over her father's billion-dollar corporation, Fidelity Investments, in 2014. Abigail's grandfather, Edward Johnson, founded the firm in 1946, and it has been passed down through the generations. But how is her life? In 1984, she had a wonderful upbringing, attending some of the best private schools in the country. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in art history because, if you're wealthy, you can study subjects like that without worrying about how you'll exist later. A few years later, she earned an MBA from Harvard Business School, but that's another story. Take a look at her estate. I think I'd get lost in this Milton, Massachusetts mansion. Abigail now oversees 45,000 employees worldwide, but she dislikes that spotlight. Since she took over the corporation, many people have associated her with making wise and daring judgments. Her exceptional abilities enable the organization to reclaim many lost customers. Because of her achievements and strong personality, Forbes named her one of the most powerful women in the world. At number 9, Iris Fontbona. This 80-year-old billionaire is from Chile, a gorgeous Latin American country. Now, she's a media owner and philanthropist who is not only the wealthiest person in Chile, but also the third wealthiest person in Latin America. The first two were Mexicans, Carlos Slim Galú and German Laura Montebulesco. I'm sure you're wondering how she got all that money. To put it simply, in 2005, she married a very wealthy man named Andronico Luskic Abaroa. He died of cancer, leaving most of his firm Antofagasta to his sons and wife. Fagasta is a copper mining group that is supposedly one of the world's largest mining companies. This extremely wealthy family also has spent no time diversifying their wealth, expanding into businesses like banking, shipping, food and drinks, telecommunication, and agriculture. Iris Fontbona has 3 primary residences, one in her home country of Chile, which I believe is the size of a huge mall, and 2 others in Belgravia and Liechtenstein. She also manages a resort in Croatia. Fontbona does not enjoy being in the spotlight and frequently avoids interviews. Number 8. Miriam Adelson. Miriam made her money in casinos, but before all the glitz, she studied medicine in Israel, where she was born. She married Ariel Oakshorn, a doctor, but they divorced, and she later had a tremendous stroke of luck. In 1991, she met Sheldon Adelson on a blind date. He turned out to be a billionaire who owned Las Vegas Sands, making this the most powerful blind date ever. He also has approximately 50 stakes in the world's gambling capital. They met, fell in love, and married. Miriam and Sheldon were vocal supporters of Donald Trump and his top donors. They made significant contributions to both of his presidential campaigns. Sheldon died in 2021, and Miriam is also said to have said that Trump deserved a book in the Bible because of his love for Israel. Miriam, of course, received his great riches in addition to all the casino games and Trump campaigns. Number 7. Suzanne Clanton. Ich bin like a baby, which is German for I am wealthy. Suzanne Clanton would not be mistaken if she said Clanton nie Suzanne Quant is the richest woman in Germany. And here are a few facts about her life. She studied business finance and marketing in her earlier days, and she also received an IMBA from IMD Business School. Clanton, on the other hand, is not a self-made businesswoman. When her father died, she inherited the majority of his fortune, which included his 50% investment in Altona, a pharmaceutical and chemical factory, and a 12.5% stake in BMW. She, like many billionaires, is involved in a variety of other business enterprises and presently owns stock in several other profitable businesses. Suzanne met her now ex-husband, Jan Clanton, in 1990, and they had 3 children. In 2007, she was entangled in a dispute. She was allegedly romantically involved with a Swiss con artist named Helge Garby. Although the thug threatened to reveal images of their affair, she did not pay him 49 million euros. He eventually managed to cheat her out of 7 million euros in 2018. Suzanne and her husband divorced for unexplained reasons, although I'm guessing the affair may have had a role. Number 6. Gina Rinehart. Rinehart sits as the executive chairperson of Hancock Prospecting, a mining firm founded by her father, Lang Hancock. Her narrative differs from others in that the company was insolvent when she inherited it. Rinehart worked relentlessly to restructure the company, which is now Australia's largest private company. She acquired a fortune and was able to invest in other areas, including purchasing cattle ranches, and her life is not without drama, even though her first marriage was to a man named Greg Milton. They had 2 children, John and Bianca, and their marriage did not continue long, and she eventually married Frank Rinehart. Rinehart, a business lawyer and executive, had 2 additional children, Hope and Gina. She's had a rocky relationship with her children since her previous marriage, most of it centered on inheritance and position within the corporation. Number 5. Jacqueline Mars. Have you ever wondered who owns the majority of the world's favorite candy? I'm talking about Snickers, Twix, M&M's, Milky Way. You get it. M&M's. Jacqueline Mars, the world's largest confectionery manufacturer, meets Mars Bars. Frank Mars, her grandpa, started the company Mars Candy Corporation. She's been married more than once, and she has 3 children, but don't expect to learn anything more about her because this family is rather enigmatic and works hard to maintain their anonymity. Aside from confectionaries, this important corporation controls pet food brands like Whiskas, Pedigree, and Royal Canine. Jacqueline's estate in New Jersey has been advertised for $2 million, and she also has homes in Virginia and Washington. All sunshine and rainbows, right? Is it all sunshine and rainbows? Well, in 2013, she allegedly fell asleep while driving her Porsche and crashed into a minivan, resulting in the deaths and numerous injuries. Well, I guess it's the ups and downs of life. The Candy Queen's at number 5. Number 4, Mackenzie Scott. Scott rose to become the 3rd wealthiest woman in the United States and the world's 4th wealthiest woman. Following her divorce from Jeff Bezos, Amazon's founder and executive chairman, her father was a financial consultant and her mother was a housewife. Thus, she appeared to come from poor circumstances. She married Bezos in 1993 and was one of Amazon's original employees. She was quite active in the company's early days, but stepped back when it began to do well. They have 4 children, one of whom was adopted from China. She had always enjoyed writing, which led her to major in English at Princeton University. Toni Morrison, a well-known novelist, regarded her as one of the best students he'd ever had. And her debut novel, The Testing of Luther Albright, won the American Book Award in 2006. Scott strives to put her fortune to good use by participating in philanthropic activities for charitable organizations in 2020. Her charitable giving was about $5.8 billion, making it one of the greatest annual distributions to operating charities by a private individual. Number 3, Julia Koch. My first reaction was, wow, she doesn't look 60. But then I remember that money can repair almost anything. Koch previously graduated from the University of Central Arkansas and worked as a model. Her parents, who operated a clothing store, definitely impacted her interest in the fashion industry. She briefly worked as a clothing designer and even made fittings for Nancy Reagan in 1991. She met the man who would one day propel her to billionaire status. What's even funnier is that she met David Koch on a blind date and was completely unimpressed with him. Although it was not love at first sight, she decided to give him another try, and they began dating seriously in 1993. She left her work and married David in August 2019. Her beloved hubby died. Julia and her 3 children received 42% of the company. Julia now has 3 houses, but plans to sell her flat at 740 Park Avenue. Do you by any chance want to buy it? Number 2, Alice Walton. Alice Walton is the daughter of Walmart founder Sam Walton. She was born and raised in Arkansas for the majority of her youth. In 1988, she received her bachelor's degree in economics and began her work as an equity analyst and money manager. She established the Llama firm, an investment bank. She was also active in other areas such as the creation of the Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport. I believe it is reasonable to assume that Walton was a hard worker who did not sit around waiting for an inheritance. Her passion for art prompted her to be a driving force behind the creation of the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas. Walton was also involved in several car accidents in 1989. She killed a 50-year-old woman by accident. Alright, moving on. Our winner for today, drumroll please, it's Francoise Bettencourt Meyers, the world's richest lady. Her fortune stems from our society's infatuation with beauty and cosmetic products. Her grandfather, Eugene Schuller, created L'Oreal, and her mother, Lillian Bettencourt, was a French heiress, socialite, and businesswoman who owned a large stake in the corporation. When she died in 2017, Francoise's fortune tripled. She was raised as a strict Catholic, married a Jewish man, and raised 2 sons as Jews. The bizarre twist in this story is that Francoise's grandfather was tried for collaborating with the Nazi administration, while her Jewish husband was the grandson of a rabbi who was murdered in Auschwitz. Isn't it fascinating? Francoise is so committed to her faith that she wrote multiple biblical comments in the aftermath of the Notre Dame Cathedral fire in 2019. She contributed $226 million to its rehabilitation. So there you have it. Which of these rich lady stories has piqued your interest the most? You're welcome to leave your ideas in the comment section below, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and turn on the notification posts so we can see you in the upcoming video, alright? Till then, take care, goodbye.